Welcome to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neal Howard. Thank you so much for joining us. Our guest is Debbie Parsley, joining us to talk about her diagnosis of primary biliary cholangitis, or PBC. It's a rare, serious, and a little-known liver disease that affects some women who are in the prime of their lives. Welcome to the program, Debbie. How are you?
I'm fine. Thank you, Neal.
Glad that you could take the time and talk with us today. What is it that you do for a living? Give us a little bit of background about yourself.
Okay. I have worked for the state for many, many years. I'm a fingerprint supervisor, actually.
Oh. Now, is that strictly for the criminal system, or are there other areas where you take fingerprints?
Well, our database now has applicant and criminal. Teachers, nurses, real estate agents, everyone needs to get background checks these days.
So you were just going about your normal day-to-day routine, living your life, and you were diagnosed with PBC. What is PBC?
PBC is a rare autoimmune disease, and it affects the bile ducts in your liver. And it mostly affects women. And the diagnosis usually happens after like 35, ladies in their mid-years.
Did you know about PBC, or had you heard about it? Did anyone that you know have it before you were diagnosed?
I had never heard of it at all, and I didn't even know I had it. But with my career with the state, I was getting ready to retire, so I was doing some planning. And so in that planning, my insurance company did a pretty extensive blood work. And so in that blood work, they said I had abnormal liver enzymes and that I would need to get that checked out and see what that was all about. So that is actually how we discovered I had the elevated liver enzymes. So at that point, I went to my primary care, and we just sort of tested and rewatched things and watched things that I was just being careful of the intake, of healthy foods and not combining medicines, with alcohol, just cutting all that out and retesting. And the liver enzymes didn't move, or everything looked the same. It was just the progress of that, double checking again, they're the same. Checking again,
You were diagnosed as a result of just a routine retirement planning physical done by your insurance company. Were there any symptoms, anything that you thought, well, maybe I've got a cold, or maybe this is hurting and I'm going to go to the doctor anyway? Or were you just feeling absolutely fine?
Absolutely fine. Have been a runner, and I did a marathon in 2009. I did another one in 2013, where I'm not a fast runner, but that just maybe would show you that I'm very healthy. It wasn't affecting my lifestyle. And my marathons were, of course, just run, walking, very slow. But I did complete them, and I just have a real active lifestyle and did not notice any symptoms.
Now, you say that it wasn't affecting your life, no symptoms, everything was just great, active life, healthy life. How is this condition affecting your life now?
Right now, it still is not affecting me. I am on medication. And, in the beginning, I did start having one of the most common symptoms is itching. So I had started itching to the point where I'm like, is this from my garden? I couldn't determine what it was, and just researching on my own, I did come up with maybe there was something that was a hint of something, but that's the only thing, is I attributed the itching to like being out in the garden, all that.
Now, you're one of the women that's affected. How many women are we talking about when we say that a woman has PBC?
I really don't know the numbers. But I think if people will add in liver checks to their routine health, I think we may discover a lot more, because people may have it and not even know they have it.
Now, I understand that there's a campaign to raise awareness and that you are a big part of this campaign. It's called the LiveHer Campaign. Talk about this program and how you're involved in it.
Yes, the LiveHer Campaign project, it's a photography project. It's real special to me because my daughter, Emily Blenko, is the photographer. So I was one of the 3 women that she took pictures of and documented our lifestyles. And this campaign is LiveHer, combining liver and her, since it does mostly affect women.
Now, it does mostly affect women, but sometimes it can affect men, just like breast cancer. This is a rare disease in itself, even more so for men.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
Now, in this photography program, you say you're one of 3 women that were selected to be a participant in this program. Are these photographs that chronicle your daily life, or just photographs of, like a normal family photograph or vacation photographs? How are the photographs raising awareness, other than the fact that you and some other ladies who are dealing with the condition are in it?
I think it just shows a glimpse into my life. And also there's a video along with it where they actually ask you questions about it. And it was just such a fun project. And I was real happy the way it turned out, although I was very nervous about being in front of a camera. But it turned out real well. And the other women, their stories, it was just so interesting to see.
We're talking about the liver. Some of the effects, if left untreated, are very similar to the effects of excessive alcohol drinking. Is that something that you were questioned about by your physician or the insurance company or any of your family or friends when they discovered that you had this liver condition?
Yeah, it didn't feel very good, and I probably didn't talk about it a lot either at first, because the name actually was primary biliary cirrhosis. That just has such a bad thing on it, but the doctors are sure. They say it's nothing you ate or drank. It's an autoimmune disease that is destroying your bile ducts, so that can cause cirrhosis. It's not working properly. It's not functioning the correct way. So it can build up the fibrosis and cirrhosis. So they did very recently just change the name over to primary biliary cholangitis, which I'm so happy. It just is a lot better. Yes, the stigma, exactly. So I'm happy to talk about it, discuss it, and I really am hoping others will get it checked out.
Give us a website we can go online and learn much more about LiveHer and this LiveHer photography program.
The LiveHer campaign is going to be found on Facebook. So if you just search Facebook with LiveHer, all one word, spelled LiveHer, and that's where you can find the videos and anything that's been posted already. And then they can, every so often they're adding more to it.
Very, very happy that you could spend the time with us and give us some insight into your life and into how you're managing PBC. I'm hoping you'll come back as things develop.
Well, thank you very much.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neal Howard, in studio with Debbie Parsley. Transcripts and audio of the program are available at healthprofessionalradio.com.au and also at hpr.fm. You can subscribe to this podcast on iTunes, listen in, and download at SoundCloud. And be sure and visit our affiliates page at hpr.fm.